Hi everyone. Today we will dive into two incredibly useful JavaScript methods for working with arrays, indexOf and Splice. Sounds simple, but you know what? These methods can seriously save you time and make your code much more efficient. Stay tuned until the end, because I will show you a real example from my experience where I automate tasks using these methods that used to take up a lot of time. So let's get started. This JavaScript method is used to find the index of the first occurrence of a specified value in an array. Its use can significantly simplify data handling. Suppose we have an array of products: apples, bananas, oranges, pears. If we want to find out the index of oranges, we can do this using indexOf. As you can see, indexOf returns the index 2 because oranges are in the third position in the array. This method can be used to search for any value in an array, whether it's strings, numbers, or even objects, as long as they are strictly equal. If the element is not found, indexOf returns -1. This is useful for checking whether an element exists in the array. For example, if we try to find pineapple, which is not present in our array. As you can see, the result will be -1, indicating that the element was not found. This allows us to easily handle such situations. We can use a condition to perform specific actions if the element is absent. The indexOf method also takes a second argument, the index at which to start the search. This can be useful if you want to find an occurrence of the element starting from a certain point. For example, if we have an array with duplicate elements. In this example, we first find the index of the first banana, which is 1, and then search for the second index starting from 2. Thus, we can find all occurrences of an element in the array. However, it is important to note that indexOf uses strict comparison, so it will not work with objects unless they refer to the same location in memory. For example, even though it seems that the object with ID 2 should be in the array, indexOf returns -1 because this is a completely different object, even if its properties match. If you need to search for objects by their properties, you'll have to use methods like findIndex. There are several additional nuances and features of using the indexOf method in JavaScript that can be useful. Case-sensitive search. indexOf is case-sensitive, meaning that apple and apple are considered different strings. If you need to perform a case-insensitive search, you should first convert strings to the same case, for example lowercase, before using indexOf. Finding substrings in strings. The indexOf method can also be used to search for substrings within strings. For example, you can use it to check if a certain substring exists in a string. Limitations with not a number. indexOf cannot correctly locate nan values. This is because, according to JavaScript specifications, not a number is not equal to itself. If you try to find nan in an array, it will return -1. If you need to locate nan, you can use the findIndex method. Scalability. When working with large arrays, indexOf may be less performant, as it iterates through elements one by one until it finds a match. For large datasets or frequent searches, consider using alternative data structures like hash tables. Now let's dive into the Splice method, which is a truly powerful tool for working with arrays. With Splice, you can remove elements, add new ones, and even replace existing ones, all in a single method. Let's explore each scenario with some examples. Example 1. Removing elements. The first way to use Splice is to remove elements from an array. Let's say we have an array of fruits. Suppose we decide to remove bananas. To do that, we need to specify the starting index and how many elements to remove. As you can see, bananas are now gone. The first parameter in Splice is the starting index, and the second is the number of elements to remove. Example 2. Removing multiple elements. But what if we want to remove multiple elements at once? For example, let's say we want to remove both bananas and oranges. Now, only apples and pears remain in the array. With the second parameter, we can specify how many consecutive elements to remove starting from the given index. Example 3. Adding elements. The next use case for Splice is adding new elements to the array. Let's say we want to add new fruits, like mango and kiwi, between apples and oranges. Here's how it works. The first parameter is the index to start from. The second is the number of elements to remove, in this case 0 since we're not removing anything. And then we list the elements we want to insert. This approach lets us insert elements anywhere in the array. Example 4. Replacing elements. Now for the most interesting scenario, replacing elements. By passing both the number of elements to remove and new elements to add, we can replace old elements with new ones. Let's replace oranges with peaches. Here, we start at index 2, remove one element, oranges, and insert peaches in its place. This makes it easy to dynamically manage array contents on the fly. Example 5. Combining addition and deletion. What if we need to remove and add multiple elements at once? Let's say our array looks like this. We want to remove both bananas and oranges and replace them with mango and pineapple. Here's how to do it with Splice. We start from index 1, remove two elements, bananas and oranges, and replace them with mango and pineapple. The Splice method handles everything in one call, which makes it very convenient for complex array manipulations. That's how Splice works, a super versatile method for working with arrays in JavaScript. With Splice, you can remove, add, and replace elements, all in one go. Keep in mind that Splice modifies the original array, so be cautious if you want to keep the original data intact. And now let's move on to the promised case that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Imagine a situation where we have a drop-down list in which we need to select multiple elements. At the same time, a request is sent to the server, and the selected elements, specifically their IDs, are saved as an array. This is necessary so that after reloading the page, when we open this drop-down, the previously selected elements remain highlighted. To easily add and remove elements from the array, we use the indexOf and Splice functions. I hope these methods will be helpful to you. If you have questions or want examples for other array methods, leave a comment and I'll cover them in future videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.